Hello, welcome this afternoon to another edition of Eddy's Kitchen. Tonight we're going to cook a traditional French bouillabaisse, which is basically a fish stew, although to call this just a stew might be an understatement. I hope you learn to enjoy this and cook it with various things that you have in your area. The stew itself came from a town named Marseille on the coastal area of France, where they had a variety of fresh seafood available to them. I've taken my stripers that I've caught locally here, they're white bass, depending on which ones I've got in here. These are some smaller ones. I'm going to hop it up a little bit with some clams and some mussels here, and then I've got a lobster tail. I've got some Gulf Coast shrimp that we can get usually pretty easily here. I peeled those and got an orange peel that I'm going to make my own fish stock with and play with that a little bit. You can usually buy a commercially available fish stock in your local grocery store. You don't have to go to some of this trouble with the fish stock and stuff that you do. I've just got a little time, so I'm playing with it. Same with the tomatoes. You can buy peeled tomatoes that are ready to go. I'm gonna mess with both of these probably a little bit. The onions. Some recipes will call for potatoes, some won't. Again, these were typically not the most wealthy people that ate some of these fish stews. A lot of times these were modest people that would grab what they could, put it in there, kind of like the Cajuns cook a gumbo, kind of like the Spanish cook another stew that they make, and we'll experiment with those over time. This one is going to be a little fancier than normally I would cook, but that's because I have a Sunday afternoon and I want to make it really good for my wife and I hope you learn to enjoy this like we do. I put this beautiful lobster tail in the boiling water and we've got it heating here. I'm going to cook it about 2 minutes and I'm going to pull it out. I'll chop that up or cut it up with some scissors or cleavers so that I can put it in our fish stew in just a little bit. It won't take long. We're only going to cook it about 2 minutes. Don't overdo your seafood. I have put the leek, just the white part of the leek. I put the fennel in here and an onion. Now the last thing I've added is the garlic, letting it roast just a little bit, and it smells just wonderful. Now we're going to add these tomatoes that we've diced into it, and then we're going to add about a cup of white wine. We're going to turn the heat up on it, and we're going to reduce this white wine until it's about half of the volume. Then we're going to add our fish stock, add some more spices, and now we're going to strain our fish stock in there. This is our wonderful fish stock of the shrimp tails, the orange peel that I made. I'm just going to pour it right in there. I've got a little strainer that can go in real easy. Let me turn this around so that you can see what I'm doing. I've just got a little strainer and I'm just pouring keeping the peels and the orange all in there. Nothing to that. Now we've got our fish stock in. I'm going to add just a little bit of the commercial fish stock. Start adding my spices. Let that boil for about another 10 minutes. Then I'm going to start adding our seafood. We want to be, again, very selfish with our seafood. Don't put it in there and let it boil all day. That'll give it a good flavor. That's what you do with the stock. So you don't want to do that to your dish. We'll be eating very quickly. We've also cooked some sourdough here, which is going to be good as always. I know y'all love seeing this sourdough, and it's going to be wonderful with it also. We're going to add our fish. We've had it boiling in here, and we're going to add our fish, or simmering. We're going to cook this for just about 2 minutes, and then we're going to add our mussels and clams, lobster, and then we're going to add the wonderful shrimp to it and let it cook for about 2 minutes, and then we're going to serve it immediately. All right, guys, I want you to see how good this is. It smells wonderful. We've got our mussels in there, our clams. We've put our shrimp in, and it is ready to serve now. I've got a chopped kale salad I'm going to show you in a minute that I made, and I've also got some sourdough bread, of course. It's going to be wonderful.